this template right here that I created in Google Slides. And with Google Slides, I have all maybe the different templates and activities that I want my students to do. So now I'm ready to take this over to Kami. But before I do that, I just want to add like a blank page for where I want my students to also write out their work. So I could come in here and type in what I want my students to do during these different stations. If I didn't want them to work on stations and maybe it was like a writing to-do list, I could also type like to-do list. So again, I could do stations, but I'm going to go ahead and change this to do. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up with Kami because I want to make it interactive for my students. So I'm going to go ahead and convert this document. And now that it's converting, I'm going to be able to come on here and add my additional conferencing information. So I can come in here and type my students' names of who I want to meet with in the order that I want to meet with them. I can also come in and insert a YouTube video. I've got 4 stations and I want my stations to be about maybe 10 minutes. So I'm going to go into YouTube and I'm going to search a timer. So again, I could do my station timer. My class period though is 60 minutes. So because this is a to-do activity, I'm just going to set a 60-minute timer. Let's type timer in here. And I can grab any of these videos. And all I have to do is copy this URL. When you add it to Kami, it's going to get rid of the ads and the distraction over on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and add that YouTube video on here, insert that video, paste it right here. And now I'm ready to create my directions. And so what I'm going to do is maybe I put activity 1. I'm going to do activity 2, activity 3, and activity 4. Okay, again, you could customize this in that Google slide and make the changes that you need to make. With activity 1, I might have my students come in and brainstorm using a graphic organizer. Okay, and I could actually add in a graphic organizer on this blank page that I have right here. So I can go to Add Media, find the graphic organizer that I want my students to use to help them with their writing. So maybe I want to use the sequence one. And then I can also come in here and create a video directions for my students so I don't have to repeat myself. And I can do my entire screen. I'm going to go ahead and share. For this activity on page number, I believe we are on page number 3, I want you to think about your topic. So again, your topic is going to go right here. Once you have your topic, what's going to be in your introduction? What's going to be in your first, second, third body paragraph? And then I want you to kind of think about as well any research. So add that justification on here too. So again, I'm able to provide that video direction for my students instead of just writing it in text. For activity 2, I might have them, have like a peer review. Then for activity 3, I might say like start writing. And then for activity 4, I might say teacher check. So I can come in here, add a blank page. I can change the way that the page is laid out. And then once I have all of the pages mapped out and all the activities the way that I want them, what I'm able to now do is I can come in here to this menu bar and I can send this to Google Classroom. You're also able to assign this in Schoology, Canvas, and Microsoft Teams. And I'm going to call this writing to do. I want every student to have their own copy. I could do feature controls. So for example, I don't want my students to copy and paste over from Google or ChatGPT. I want it to be their own. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick my class. And now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and hit assign. And once I assign this, this is going to assign in my Google Classroom under my classwork. And what I want to do as well is I'm going to go ahead and open up a student account, go to their Google Classroom, students as well, click on that class, go over to classwork, there's their assignment. They're going to click open with Kami. Once students click open with Kami, they're able to come in here. Let me go ahead and refresh. I don't think it's just there just yet. There we go. And they're going to have all the tools available to them. So again, my students won't be able to copy and paste, but they'll be able to see who I'm conferencing with, what they're to do. And I always made my students come in here to add media and I had them take a picture, and this was their little tracker. This let me know which activity they were working on. They could come in, do their topic, create their writing right here, and again, they would follow each step as they were working in real time. As the teacher, what I love is when I'm doing writing conferences, I can come in and I can click on this thing called Class View. So before, I used to have to look at each of my students' work individually, and it was really time consuming, and it was very difficult to know who needed me when they needed me in that real time. However, when I click on that Class View button, I'm able to see all of my students at the exact same time. So if I go to page number 2, I can see their little pictures and where they're working at in real time. I can provide feedback to my students and I can say, hey, great job. You're done with activity number 1. You're ready to move on. I can also come in and I can load up my annotation bank. And so I would create a area for writing. And with that writing, I would be able to come in, upload videos, audio clips based on what my students need to support them. So here's a video on claim. So again, I can drag and drop those scaffolds, those resources to my students as they need them. Let's say, for example, Leslie's on an IEP. I can come in here with shapes. I can fill this shape and hide the activities because I need Leslie to get a teacher check every single time. She can't just be working on whatever she wants to be working on. She's got to get that teacher check. So I can come in, hide that with that shape tool, hide it here as well. And then once Leslie's ready to go, I can delete it from her screen, and that will be deleted on her screen. Remember that card I just gave? Students are getting my feedback in real time using Class View. When I'm ready to conference with different students, all I have to do is go up here and click on Update Work. So Class View allows me to see everybody individually. Update Work allows me to come in here, and then I can say, okay, now I'm ready for student 5. I just hit Publish Changes, Publish, and all my students are going to get student 5 on their own screen as soon as it updates. So that can be a great way for me to say, okay, student 6, publish those changes, publish them. And again, students are going to get all of those updates on their screen once I publish those changes. I can add additional directions, scaffolds based on what my students need in real time using this writing template, but also using Class View and Update Work to support my learning.